King. And now, as Matt said, is it to be ninth time lucky? What's your final thoughts before it gets going, Chris?
Well, heart says Terry, head says Van Gerwen. Spectacular form, sustaining that tournament 103 average. What an amazing moment that 9 dart leg was.
Well, I must confess I wasn't in the commentary box at the time, but I was certainly roaring at the television screen in front of me.
Yeah, it was phenomenal. 9 180s in that match.
100.
That was just Van Gerwen. But he hasn't had time for the adrenaline to bubble out of his veins. Terry's had a good rest, nice and relaxed. Looking forward to it.
He looked very chilled, didn't he, down there in the practice room? Been there before. And you talk about the 180s that Van Gerwen has hit, 29 in the tournament so far. Terry Jenkins has had 20, which is not exactly the performance of a slouch.
Averaging 5 a match.
Who's going to take this opening leg? Can Jenkins take it against the throw? Well, this is his opportunity.
This is the 16th time they've met.
140.
8-7 before that in Van Gerwen's favour. There's the first leg with the darts. Happy fella.
To throw first.
Cheeky little 15 dart leg to start proceedings.
140.
Another 140 start for Jenkins.
$134.
Maybe stating the obvious, but so important that Jenkins,
59.
from his perspective, gets into this game early, holds his throw. Doesn't want to see Van Gerwen getting into full steamroller mode, because when he really goes, he has another gear.
Yeah, he needs to hold on early.
100.
If he goes into this break anywhere like 4-1 or worse,
90.
so it'll be all over that early.
61.
Be a long game down the pub, but a first to 11, playing someone like Michael, it can be done and dusted fairly quickly.
I didn't like that treble 3, just inquiring from the scorer exactly where he's at. Well, not in a mess, but not great.
$140. So you require 130.
Pressure on this now. 140 from Michael, can't do it. Treble 20 leaves double 16, no.
41.
It was loose.
78.
Van Gerwen then, against the darts, looking for 2-0. 20 for tops.
Game shot in the second leg. Michael Van Gerwen.
Great start.
Yep, back-to-back 15 dart legs.
Jenkins has to raise his game.
61.
Certainly had his chances there to have won that leg,
60.
Jenkins.
$44. $140.
Great chance now in this leg to break back.
41.
Jenkins. You won't see that very often. 9 darts thrown. Only 146 scored for Van Gerwen.
Well, that's poor from Jenkins. Great opportunity to have surged ahead. Van Gerwen jumps all over him with a big score now, which is happening.
140.
Treading water.
60.
Not good enough.
And Jenkins had a great opportunity in this leg, but it looks as though it's going now.
140.
Starting to build up a head of steam.
54.
So 75 now for 3-0. Going down to 17s. 18 leaves tops for 3-0.
35. So you require 142.
He may stay there. It's a good live for him.
110.
Well, that's great shooting, but Van Gerwen now 40 for 3-0. Too little too late for Jenkins, maybe. Well, now then, Jenkins can ram those words straight back down my throat with double 16. How much does he need this?
28. Matthew required 40.
So often the bridesmaid to coin a cliche, and he's 3-0 down again.
22 dart leg. Not one for your scrapbook, Michael. That's a big leg. Big leg in terms of this match, even this early. Could have got out of this session 3-2. Most likely going to be 4-1.
96.
Could be 5-0. Needs bigger scores than he had on his first visit.
Just wonders if he tries too hard in the final.
100.
It's almost like a mental block.
Maybe an element of that. Van Gerwen's winning 3-0 with an 86 average.
Yeah, that average would have been destroyed.
It's gone up a little now.
By the previous leg. Terry's only hit 3 140s in this match.
Whereas that's a first 180 for Van Gerwen. His second dart was always hanging out of the board. He had to throw at the left-hand side of the treble.
Needs to come down. Needs a 19 at least.
137.
May go the ball. Treble 14.
51. Terry, you require 122.
418's ball. Needs this.
54.
So Van Gerwen tops for 4-0. Missed out last time when he went for this.
Oh, that's way over.
Just
He
about,
was
managed
playing,
just about managed to hit the board. They're extreme. Well, that was extraordinary from Van Gerwen. The brilliance of that treble 20 and the control to get that, and then missing by Street. Tops.
28.
Just won't happen for Terry at the moment. 4-0 Van Gerwen.
Michael Van Gerwen. Fifth leg, Michael to throw first. Game on.
Jenkins 4 attempts at doubles, 4 misses.
140.
And have a break at the end of this leg. Can Jenkins get on the board before then?
Well, Terry will want the break. Michael won't.
98.
Needs to fill it.
140.
First to 11 becomes the champion here, claiming the
96.
£55,000 first prize. Adi Lewis won it last year, eliminated in the first round this time around.
100.
Jenkins hanging on in there, but just
167.
that spark of brilliance that he needs, remaining elusive. Treble 19, bull for 167. Oh, fabulous! Van Gerwen, a quite brilliant check out, and at the break, leading Jenkins 5-0. He's almost halfway there.
Well, it's happening again for poor old Terry Jenkins. Just wrong place, wrong time. He's in a final, that's great, but Michael Van Gerwen is just too hot.
Yeah, the fear factor that we thought of earlier is happening for Terry. It's just not clicked, has it, really? But it's not without chances. I mean,
No.
he's had chances to win at least 2 of the legs.
Yeah.
And going in at 5-0, he'd be despondent in the back room
Well,
there.
because Van Gerwen's average is 93, so really, shouldn't be 5-0, should it?
No.
Really?
He's had chances, not just the one dart at the double. When you have 3 clear darts at the double in your
Yeah.
hand, that's unkind of forgivable, really, especially in a final.
Yeah, let's have a look at that. That was leg 3, end of. Van Gerwen gave him chances by missing himself.
That's right. Missed his chance. 3 darts
3, I
at
think, at
tops.
tops.
He's struggled on tops, hasn't he?
Yeah.
In this final so far. So you think, well, come on, Terry, just get a leg on the board. It's early in the match.
Yeah.
Leg 3. And really, they weren't anywhere near.
No.
You can
That's
see
just that
himself.
little bit of tension.
Well, there's going to be tension anyway in a final. When you've been in so many as Terry and not won one, even harder. But Van Gerwen's done it all before, as we know. He's won everything. World #1, 9 darter tonight, you name it, he's done it. So he doesn't kind of have that same feeling. It's going to be hard for Terry. It's going to be even harder now at 5-0.
Well, absolutely. And obviously not content with the 161 half an hour ago. He's just pulled a 167 out of the bag.
Well, the 161 was the highest finish of the tournament. Now it's the 167. It's fantastic to see. 5-0, looking ominous for Terry, but great to see a 167.
It really does look ominous. And we talked before the start, if he has a slightly off patch, Van Gerwen, you've got to capitalise.
The only thing in Terry's favour now, we're just seeing the 167, which is fantastic. Them bullseye finishes are great. The only thing in Terry's favour is he may be in the back room now thinking, well, oh well, I've not had a good start. He may relax a little bit more, less tension, thinking he's probably lost, and fire him in.
Yeah, well, let's hope for his sake that's exactly what he is thinking. But lays are back out and ready to resume, as of course are the boys in the box, Chris and John.
5-0. We wondered if MVG was going to steamroller Terry, whether there was just going to be a psychological block to the Ledbury Bull. Well, he's got a huge job now to just get back into this game, never mind win it.
Yeah, long way back. Just glad I don't get paid by the hour.
You get paid?
6 flag Terry to throw first.
So Jenkins with the darts. Needs to have a terrific session here. Well, that's an ideal start. His first maximum of the match, 21st of the tournament.
Well, if he can somehow get out of this session 6-4 maybe.
Well, that'll be a result from his perspective. A 4-1 session would be sensational
43.
on the basis of what we've seen so far. His box office, this fella, isn't he? That 167, the crowd raised the roof.
$140.
It's hard to explain how good he is in the relaxed atmosphere of an exhibition. It's absolutely out of this world.
81. So you require
He
138.
hits what he wants.
Jenkins
60.
desperate just to get on the scoreboard.
So you require
Well, 6 starts at 78, so Terry really should wrap this one up.
It's his favourite double, tops.
58.
Beating himself up as well now.
60. So you require 20.
Double 10. Surely now. He's in!
Great reaction. Sneaked in.
140.
To leg 7 and only 180 apiece.
28.
Demanding day, not only mentally but physically for these players. Having to play 3 matches in one day. I know they're used to playing a lot of darts in consecutive matches, in the floor matches, but nevertheless on a big stage in front of a big crowd, it's got to be draining.
99.
Yeah, they tend to, well, they start at 12, the Pro Tour events, and they're usually wrapped up by 5 o'clock. This event at a quarter to 1 start. It's a long day. Most of these guys would have been in here around 11 o'clock, maybe earlier.
Another 180. Squeezed into a tiny corner of that treble.
58.
A chance in this leg now.
Yeah, big score now, and to put that 118 under real pressure. Well, 100's not bad.
Mark, you require 180.
If he doesn't get this, Terry should get at least 1 dart at the ball. Well, he should go for the ball this time. 25 leaves 69.
He's gone for
54.
tops. Well, it was a risky strategy, but it paid off.
Risk
2 on
and
the spin.
reward.
A Blake Terry to throw first.
The old-fashioned way of doing it.
Absolutely.
Bobby George somewhere will be watching and saying, quite right, it's the way to do it.
95.
The only thing he can count is money, mate.
Plenty of it.
60. $59.
5-2. Jenkins with the darts. Can the revival continue?
140.
There's that picture of the bull again. It does look more like a dog, doesn't it?
140.
Terry is definitely making a battle of it. Expect nothing less.
Second maximum for Van Gerwen.
140 be handy.
140. Mark, you require 121.
Well, we've seen this taken out on more than one occasion. 11 leaves the bullseye.
96.
Not
So
this
you
time.
require 67.
One
Tops.
dart at tops to hold. Gets it.
Shot to the A flag. Terry Jenkins.
Suddenly it looks a different match. 3 consecutive legs for Terry Jenkins. In that first session, you wouldn't have thought it possible.
60.
Michael's just gone off the boil.
What was it you said? If he could get through to
6-4.
6-4, it'd be pretty good. Well, if it goes with darts from here, that's what it will be.
119.
Terry would do now for a 12 dart leg.
119.
Lovely tones. George Noble. Talking of referees, incredibly, that was Russ Bray's 10th 9-darter on television to call.
And incredibly, the larynx is still holding up.
82.
I see there's some Russ Bray t-shirts for sale.
There is.
Up on the balcony. Have you got one?
99.
Oh, 180 would be handy, and he's got it. Leaves him on 60, and his third 180 of the match, 32 in the tournament altogether.
100. Michael requires 60.
20 for tops. Regulation darts.
Yes, he shouts.
15 darts.
So Jenkins now. Final leg before the next break. Can he hold his darts to fulfill the Mason prediction of 6-4? The Mason
Not if he
hope,
keeps
maybe,
doing this.
in the context of the match.
Yeah.
140.
He's a long way off his tournament average of 97, Terry, averaging, I say, just 90.
59.
Michael, just under 94. A few scrappy legs. Soon drops the average down.
Oh, the frogs are here.
Are they frogs? Maybe.
134.
Jenkins' throw under a bit of pressure here.
140 for me was a minimum requirement there.
Oh dear.
77.
There's no check out,
finish.
is there?
Nope.
None for Van Gerwen either. But there will be
No.
not too much to worry about when he comes back.
Yep, great shot.
Michael requires
So double
28.
14 for 7-3 for Michael Van Gerwen. Good mark up. And he gets it. The cushion is now back to 4 legs. And Van Gerwen leading Terry Jenkins 7-3. He only needs another 4 legs and he will be the European champion. The world champion is looking in control.
Box to join Stuart Pike. 95 average for Michael Van Gerwen, 4 legs away from another major. In the last 2 years since his breakthrough victory at the World Grand Prix in Dublin in October 2012, Michael Van Gerwen, can you believe this, has won around about £1.4 million in prize money alone. World champion, 2 World Grand Prix, a Premier League title, the World Cup of Darts, the Players' Championship finals at Minehead, of course.
100.
Is he about to add the European Championship to the Roll of Honour and inflict more heartache on the darting bridesmaid than is Terry Jenkins? Jenkins will battle away. But noticeably for me in the early stages, I thought that Jenkins wasn't playing his normal game.
137.
Normally quite quick. I thought he wasn't as quick as he normally is, and it didn't suit him.
Well, there's always going to be nerves in the final. Doesn't matter who you are.
100.
If you don't get out of the blocks as quick as maybe you should do, it's a little bit more difficult. And as that first session progressed, losing leg by leg, it got harder. But when he went into that break, he came out a different animal.
Well, 9-dart magic from Mighty Mike. The world number 1, the world champ, is on course for another major title. 8-3, 3 away from more history from the prolific, the prodigious, the hugely talented Michael van Gerwen. But for Terry Jenkins, is it going to be 9 major TV finals and 9 heartbreaking defeats?
Well, Van Gerwen's in that happy zone, isn't he?
140.
Playing well, not under pressure. Been there before, done the video, sold the t-shirt, you name it. But for Terry, as I just said before, I legged it over here, Stuart. He'll be disappointed, of course. But next week, when he reflects on his weekend's exploits here in Mulheim, it's got to bring a little bit of smile to his face, because it's got him back well into the top enchilade of world darts.
60.
I'm not so sure, Alan. I think he'll be absolutely gutted, to be honest with you. I really do. You know, he's a fantastic player, and he's played really brilliantly to get here. He's on the verge of another defeat, and it just gets harder and harder and harder to take, I'm sure. You know, Terry will put a brave face on it. You've got to be in it to win it, and the fact that he's made 9 major finals, but if he loses another one...
Well, it's not just the major finals, it's been pretty close in a lot of the major semi-finals, Stuart.
111.
So last leg deciders against Taylor come to mind. Oh, that's a poor dart from Terry, probably the worst one in the final up to now. Single 20 or 18 would have done, big one, no good.
He'll have to move for Michael van Gerwen. Now it's very awkward. Wow, that's a fantastic dart. He had no right to get that. But this is Michael van Gerwen we're talking about.
13th leg, Michael to throw first. Game on.
It's a modern day Robin Hood from Holland.
140.
Well and truly into this final. As for Terry, it's not quite happened.
60.
Yeah, Van Gerwen in cruise control.
140.
Enjoying it, enjoying the moment, savouring the fact that he's going to win another big one in what's been a remarkable 2 years. And
100.
just a couple of weeks after he won the World Grand Prix crown for the 2nd time in 3 years, about to be crowned, surely, the European champion for the first time. Probably the first time of many.
Yeah, could be the first European winner here.
60. Mark you require
In Europe.
123.
It's looking good at the moment. Still some work to do, but a long way ahead. 6 legs clear and looking good in this one. If he wins this leg, he'll be 1 leg away. Double 18 will leave double 16. Well, that was a bad one. But Terry way back on 281. Only averaging 90.
We said he had to start well, and you remember, great 180 from Terry, his third.
85.
Double 9 for Michael, so a chance here for Jenkins maybe.
You require
Well, single
101.
16 would have left the ball, but the treble leaves double 9. But he missed it. Chance for Terry, 1 tops. Tops for Jenkins!
81. Michael, you require 18.
To go 1 leg away. It's a good guide for Michael van Gerwen. Had to be, didn't it? It had to be, and it was. And the mini fight back has been snubbed out. 5-0 up. Jenkins won 3 on the spin, but 5 consecutive legs again here for Michael van Gerwen. Yeah, you remember the UK Open semi-final in March that Jenkins won, beating van Gerwen 10-8. He just started like a train and never let van Gerwen get in front.
57.
And that, I always felt, was going to be the key tonight, but a slow start for Terry. He missed his chances in legs 3 and 4, and with those misses you feel
121.
his chance had gone.
Well, when you're behind, particularly in a final, it's hard. But when you're not particularly playing that well, or not as well as you had been, it's obviously a lot harder. As it has proved to be for the ball.
100.
And all he can do is keep on trying. He's reached 2 finals this year. You've got a feel for him, you really do.
Just checking, may go for the ball. Unlucky.
78.
Just dipped under into the 3, 102 left. Van Gerwen, 254. In his mind, he'd be looking at doing this in 2 visits. He'll be looking at doing this in 2 visits. 114 left for the title. Jenkins, 102. Bullseye or treble 14. He's gone for treble 14. A long way off there, Terry. I think that was because he wasn't sure which one he was going to go for. Changed his mind just at the last minute.
Well, can he win it in style? He's going to get a dart. A double 18.
96.
One match dart has come and gone.
58.
Jenkins, big 18 for tops. Keep himself in the final. Double 10. Double 10 for Terry. He hits it. Denies Van Gerwen. 3 more darts at the double. But he's starting this leg, as he has done in most of them in the final, with a maximum.
Well, great response from Terry. Great response from Terry. He may be down. He may nearly be out. But he'll keep on firing.
He certainly will. Van Gerwen, first out winning the treble. With all the bet to aim for. Well, Jenkins. Oh, almost. Almost. Just underneath.
Oh, magical again from Michael Van Gerwen. Absolutely fabulous darts from a fabulous player.
Well, there's nothing Terry Jenkins can do. He's got to stand behind Michael Van Gerwen. Watch him trying to edge this 56 for the European Darts Championship of 2014.
Michael Van Gerwen wins his 7th major title in the last 2 years on a never-to-be-forgotten night in Germany. A 9-darter and another big major title is second in the space of 2 weeks as Terry Jenkins faces more darting heartache. The ball loses a 9th major TV final, but you can't take it away from Michael Van Gerwen. European champion 2014, another big title on another big night for the world champion.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We really have had a fantastic time here in Germany, and this is the moment we've all been waiting for, our presentation. Please welcome the chairman of PDC Europe, Mr. Werner von Molker. Ladies and gentlemen, the runner-up receiving the commemorative trophy and £25,000, it goes to the Raging Bull, Terry Jenkins. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the winner, receiving the wonderful trophy, £55,000, and the 8th major title of his career, as he's crowned the new 888.com European Darts Champion 2014, Mighty Michael and Gerwen!
Congratulations, Michael. These are becoming familiar to you.
Yeah, this is a fantastic trophy to win. I never won this trophy before, and that made it special for me. And to win the World Championships and the European Championships in 1 year, yeah, that's fantastic, isn't it? And I'm really happy with my performance, and I'm really happy how I played. Also the 9 dart and everything together, it was fantastic. Not only that, also the crowd, yeah, fantastic. This is one of the another good moment. I never won this trophy before.
I know.
It means a lot to me.
You're the first European champion of the European Championship.
Yeah, that's a good thing, isn't it?
Hey, for a Dutchman in Germany, you're doing well.
Yeah, for a Dutchman in Germany, I'm doing well, and I really appreciate that. Also, all the fans over here. It's darts is getting bigger and bigger, also in Germany, and it's not going great. It's madness, and that's a good thing, isn't it?
You're part of the madness, mate. The way you play, you're part of the madness.
Yeah, I put it on a fantastic performance, and I think I can show a lot more this year. And the main thing is the World Championships after this, isn't it?
Of course. These are the days of your life, aren't they?
Yeah. What can I say? A couple of years ago, this was all a dream, and now it's reality. So I need to be proud of what I'm doing now, and I really enjoy the moments, because you never know what happens in life.
Well, Terry will know that. We'll speak to him in a moment. But where does it come from, this ability to just explode on stage? What do you put it down to?
Confidence. A lot has to do with confidence, of course. And my confidence is great at the moment, and I know I can do a lot of good things. That's why I'm also number 1 in the world, and I want to keep that position for a long time, and I need to work really hard for that. And this helps, of course.
Of course, it all helps the confidence. Stay where you are, because I'll give you your due in a moment, but let me just bring Terry in, if I may. You know what I'm going to say, don't you? It's the same old story, isn't it?
I suppose it is, really, but I've got to be happy, really. I mean, I'm getting on there. Michael's young, and he's got everything in front of him, and to reach another major final, I didn't think I'd ever do it, to be honest, but I have tonight, and that's another feather in my cap.
I was stood up there with Chris and Alan a little earlier, and they were saying you could look at this run of final defeats. You could also say Terry's made 9 major finals in 8 years. A lot of players would love that statistic.
Oh, of course they would. I mean, there's some top players that have never made 1 major final, so I can't not be happy with 9 major finals. I mean, that's bought me a few houses.
I think money's the least of your concerns, and a nice trophy, obviously not the one you wanted, but hopefully there'll be more opportunities. But your form through this weekend surely is something to take into the weeks that come.
Yeah. I've been playing well on the floor just lately. I've been playing some good games and losing. So I've been happy with the way I've been playing. Even though I've been losing, I've been happy with the way I've been playing. I mean, I think out of the last 4 times I've played Michael, I beat him 3. I'm 3-1 up on him, and he beat me tonight. So it was his turn. It was his turn.
Well, that's very generous of you. Ladies and gentlemen, your runner-up and your champion. Now, if I could just bring my cohorts on stage. My partners in crime, Chris and Alan. That was, it felt like one-way traffic, but I'm not sure what Terry could have done about that, really, Chris.
Just started better. You know, it was so far behind before with a blink of an eye. and it was always going to be tough to drag it back against Michael. His relentless pressure, leg on leg on leg, and he's just very hard to beat. A tournament average of 103.51. He really is going to take some stopping. There's just a handful of players out there, I think, that could maybe potentially cause him trouble, but they have to be at their very, very best, and I just think he's virtually unbeatable.
We've seen more than glimpses, haven't we? Particularly tonight, the 9-darter, the 161, the 167 in the final. It's stuff that dreams are made of, isn't it?
Yeah, we've seen some extraordinary darts, haven't we? I mean, that 9-darter really lit up that semi-final with two legends of the game in Holland, and it reignited really his challenge to win this title, which he eventually went on to win.
Yeah, and it's now, for a young man in such control of his game, it's kind of somehow holding on to the muse, isn't it?
Yeah, darts needed Michael van Gerwen. You know, we needed him. Phil's not going to be around forever, and we need another superstar. And he's just made for the job, and it's just exciting times seeing where we are in the game now. It's just unbelievable. Sort of when I started playing even 15, 20 years ago, to think we'd be doing this right now and there'd be a player like him, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, and while he will get obviously most of the plaudits, and rightly so, there have been other positives from the weekend for other players with aspirations. Terry, obviously, Van Barneveld,
yep.
Bunting, who've all shown that if they can't necessarily beat Van Gerwen right now, they've got the armoury to give them it again.
Yeah, after what's happened today, you almost forget what Bunting did to Phil Taylor. The 9-darter this afternoon, Barney's almost revival this year after some poor results in recent TV events. So it's been a fantastic weekend for that, and looking forward to next weekend. I can't wait already.